Oh, hello, y'all. It's Lady Flo. Now, anyone who watches me, y'all know I talk about Gyp tea, the sippin' tea. But it's interesting, Gypsy refers to tea in her comment. She made two comments. First, let's read her first comment. It says, everyone knew my past when I was released, and y'all were shouting queen. Now, almost a year later, I am bullied and harassed nonstop. Accountability begins when you decide. I know a lot of people are going to want to disagree with Gyp, but I gotta say, I agree with her on 2 points in this first comment. I agree. Accountability begins when you decide, when we decide as a public, as a society, as a social platform. If someone is not regulating their own accountability, they're not mature enough to reflect on their own actions and hold themselves accountable, then it's our job as a society to hold that person accountable as a social structure. This is why we have laws. This is why we have prisons. So that if someone is doing bad things, then the law is there to hold them accountable. So here she says accountability begins when you decide. I agree, the public is now deciding to hold her accountable. And it's happening now versus happening a year ago. We all gave her a chance a year ago, 2 years ago. When she first came out of prison, the 7 million people gave her a sympathy card. 7 million people gave her money. 7 million people gave her riches, a platform, a voice. And then we saw her use her voice only to build herself up. Not once did she use her voice to give anyone else sympathy, right? So when she went on the Vial Files and they asked her, if she had any sad feelings for Nick, or sympathy for Nick, and she said, plain out, he's an unsympathetic type of situation. And she went on to say that she did not do the kill, but that he did the kill. Now that is very shocking, because when people refer to a kill, it's typically when they're hunting, when they're getting deer or they're trapping, meat for animals, not for their mother, right? So although she likes to mince words, and Nina did point that out, she likes to mince her words. Here, she's trying to corner people by saying you called me queen before, but now you're holding me accountable. And it's funny that she says accountability is when you decide, talking to the society. And she's right. Accountability happens when society decides accountability needs to happen. And what's funny is that's what's happening now. And she doesn't like it. She does not like it. So I don't know about y'all, but I never called her queen. But I know that when she was a few years into her sentence, and I watched, I watched The Act, and Gyp was in prison, I did give her a second chance. I completely bought into her whole story. But then I saw who she really was, which was saying one thing in one interview and completely contradicting herself a week later or a day later. She never has a straight story on anything. Then I saw her use celebs, which I'm not a major fan. I can respect people's career, but I'm not a fan of Kim K or a Swiftie, But I can respect the fact that she uses celebs to try to leverage her platform, then disses them and laughs, mocking their career and their success. When I saw Gypsy use Kim K to make it look like she's an advocate, and then go on the VI Files and laugh about the fact that she just met Kim K, but was never going to watch an episode of their show. And then she was asked, well, are you going to watch the any of the episodes now that you've met her? And she mockingly laughs and says, yeah, my episode. That's how she treats celebs, guys. She's making enemies left and right. And she's right. Accountability is when we decide. And it's not only the public, celebs are getting annoyed with her as well. So let's look on her next comment that she has here. If you think the tea is just girl talk or harmless chatter, it's actually called cyberbullying. Oh no, she's quoting the Bible now. Let the one without a sin cast the first stone is a quote from the Bible, John 8:7. Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Very interesting. So she's referring to all the tea, right? Now, I know that I talk about the sipping tea every video. I know sometimes Nina refers to sipping tea as well. And then I think there's a channel called Conspiracy out there. So she's referring to a few of us. And it's interesting, the channels that talk about the tea are typically the ones covering her actual facts, right? So she's trying to talk about the few channels covering facts and say that we're what, girl talk or harmless chatter? I do agree with her on this, that that our tea is not just talk, girl talk, or harmless chatter. I agree with that statement. I agree that what we're saying is not just chatter in the background and just girls having fun and having girl talk or gossip. Here's my reaction to Gypsy's comment. This is my public statement. This is my public response, being Lady Flo, and responding to Gypsy Rose Blanchard's TikTok. Well, she's right. It's not harmless chatter or girl talk when we cover tea in a way where facts are obvious and logic is applied. It's truth. Reflecting her actions like a mirror is not chatter. It's social exposure reacting to her shenanigans. Now, I stick by this statement, and I hope that many creators react in such ways, because what Gypsy's trying to do is corner creators and accuse them of cyberbullying, get them to respond in an emotional way, and then point at them and say, see, you're responding to me in an emotional, mean way. And then she's going to try to shut those creators down. What's really happening is the public gave her 7 million second chances. Then when we saw what she did with it, we changed our minds. And what people are tired of the shenanigans. And so society and platforms are pointing out her shenanigans and holding her accountable for those shenanigans. That is not girl talk or chatter in the background. It's real. It's real. It's real life. Now, Gypsy needs to stop using the media and making it into a joke and a circus. The media is supposed to be a reliable source of information, and Gypsy is ruining media's coverage. She's ruining how people view them, and she's ruining their future profits by using the media to spread lies. And that is not an accusation. That is fact. Let's go back in time and remember her Lifetime interview where she lies about her health, saying, yep, there's nothing wrong with me but a lazy eye. We now know that Gypsy had a chromosome disorder that she admits to having, and even said that she was worried her future baby might have the same chromosome disorder, and yet used Lifetime to spread a lie that nothing was wrong with her except a lazy eye. Now you could say, oh, well, she spread those lies because she was, worried to go to prison. No, this is when she was already in prison and already had a sentence. She was still perpetuating those lies and using media to do it. That's why we all had this perception. That's why she got 7 million chances, because we all watched The Act. We all watched these documentaries, and we all thought, oh my gosh, her mom made her be in a wheelchair. And Nick was her first boyfriend. We now know, nope, she was not a virgin when she was with Nick. So yeah, when you lie and tell an autistic man, hey, I'm a virgin, you're taking my virginity. And then the public you tell the public, this is the only boyfriend I ever kissed. And then we find out that there's another man who gave a statement to the police, an older man, that said he and Gypsy had role play and had many sexual relations. And it was prior to her meeting Nick. When the public finds all this out a year later, they change their minds about her 7 million chances because they see her do all this to an autistic man, even lying about her being a virgin, making him think that he has stolen her virginity. And then when police tell the cops that he raped her mom and he didn't, and there's autopsy proof that he didn't, when we see her do that to an autistic man, we're going to go on YouTube and say, nope,
She was not a virgin when she was with Nick. Nope, he's not her first boyfriend. Guys, just a few months ago, she was on a live saying she's only kissed 2 people, and they were Nick and Ken. We know and Ryan, obviously, but we know that that's a lie. We know that she's kissed way more than 3 people. So, yeah, we're going to call out that mirror. We're going to pull out that mirror and be like, wait, girl, hold up. There's police statements. There are statements by men saying that they had relations with you, and they're in pictures with you. And they were caught at a hotel with you by friends that were with your mom. Like, you cannot lie about this. There's too much fact. There's too much proof. And then she wants to take that and be like, you guys are cyberbullying me? You call me a queen and now you've changed your mind? No, what's happened is we're reacting to the shenanigans and we're holding you accountable and showing you what you have done. And that's something that you should be mature enough to do on your own. You should be able to have a recollection of what you told Nick. And then when the truth comes out about this prior guy, change your statement and be like, oh, well, I didn't want people to know about this prior guy. But instead, she never has accountability. Or when she does this to her mom and she's asked if she has any sympathy for Nick, she could at least respond like, oh, well, I have sympathy for Nick because I cared for him and loved him as a person before everything happened, and it's sad how everything went down. She could have said something like that, and the public would probably give her another chance, or at least 1,000,000 chances. But instead, she responds, he's an unsympathetic type situation. So we need to differentiate. Now, if people are reacting to her clickbait right now, and they're reacting in an emotional way, guys, that's what she wants you to do. Please be smarter than that. Please be smarter than that. And I'll leave that with you guys. Hope you're having a great day. I'll put some more vids later on this evening. Ciao.